Is this the tiebreaker? Is there a title?
This book is called Moorish Paradigm, Book Three. What should be reading from?
Okay. Moorish science or Moorish cosmology is based on the zodiac wheel, which is its key. It is the greatest invention and gift given by the Moors to the human family of the planet Earth. The 360-degree circle of the zodiac wheel is the universal stage on which the whole drama of man, God, and the universe, excuse me, is played out. It is ingenious in its simplicity and incredible in the far reach of its application. I refer to this science as Moorish cosmology, Moorish science, or the science of the zodiac, as opposed to astrology due to the commercialization and negative connotations that have become attached to the word astrology. So we can kind of show this up here. So this is the zodiac wheel that they're talking
Mm.
about. It's 360 degrees, the circle. And you can see the different signs of each of the zodiac and the symbols and also their elements, right? You see this earth, fire, water, air, right? So this is what the Moors had created and studied, right? They call it astrology, and it is commercialized today. And a lot of people call it woo-woo, right? But this is a science to understand the stars and to understand yourself. Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, no, not right now.
Okay, I'm going to the top. In reality, astrology means astrologic, the science, so logy of the stars of the heavens. Okay, so we just kind of got into the astro. The basis of the whole Judeo-Christian Islamic tradition is the zodiac, because the priesthood and all three religions hid this fact from the masses. The masses are ignorant of this relationship and will fight this truth tooth and nail, unfortunately, to their own detriment. The priesthood in all three religions forbade the science of the zodiac and still do because it is such a threat to their power. One who understands the science of the zodiac will possess the master key to understanding and unlocking the mysteries of life and will be well qualified to navigate the course of their own life without the need of priesthood or religious dogma.
So I do want to.
Okay.
I want everybody to reflect on this diagram right here. As we can see, we got Michael L, Anno L, Raphael, Gabriel, Cassel, Zachariah L, and Samuel L. Um, are people that are Christian, and the Bible talks about this as being the seven Elohim, the seven archangels, etc. In actuality, these are the seven ruling planets in our solar system called the Milky Way. And the energies from these planets, similar to fiber optics, telecommunication through light energy. So every planet gives off energy. It has certain characteristics. We are a well blend of whatever energy uh, we are blended of when we came out the womb, which gives us our temperament, impulse, etc. So I always like to reiterate that, especially because we're recording and people need to hear that aspect of it versus the spooky version of this space. But you got it. You got the
Mhm.
IU.
Well, I wanted to mention a little fun fact. I've been kind of mentioning this to the Moors on the temple meetings, but I went to the downtown Central Library in LA, right? And if the Zodiac was so woo-woo, right? In this library, they actually have a history tour of the art and the architecture, right? And one of the things that they highlight is in this huge room where they have murals of paintings of pretty much colonization. You can actually see turbans, you can see a fez in one of the paintings, right? And right in the middle of the room, you see a chandelier. In the chandelier, you see the whole world, it's a globe, and around the globe is a zodiac wheel. So I wanted to mention that if this is knowledge that is known but is not really talked about, is hidden and is really a mask that it's not true science. All right, so I just want to put it out there because there's a reason why they put in the artwork like that. Okay. All right, so right here, let us look at this gift of the ancient Moors to the human family of the planet Earth. The zodiac wheel is a 360-degree circle divided into 12 equal parts of 30 degrees each. So 360, 12 equals 30 degrees. The question then may arise, why divide the circle into 12 equal parts and not some other number? Herein lies the beauty and the basis of the zodiac wheel. Since ancient times, the circle has always been used to symbolize the all, the supreme oneness, the undifferentiated universe. How do you say that?
Undifferentiated.
Undifferentiated universe, also called the circle of life. The word zo or zoo and the word zodiac means animal or life forms. Thus, our Moorish ancestors realized that to understand the circle is to understand life. In order to analyze the circle of life, you must break it down and understand all its parts and their interrelationship.
So I wanna add something. Like, it's just talked about zodiac. We dealing with the constellations of the heavens and it how the human actions are based on the heavens. So that's where the hermetic principle, as above, so below, even comes from. But zoo means animals or life forms. So when you think of the LA Zoo or the San Diego Zoo, or what's in the zoo? It's animals, right? So what I'm saying is the origin of the word zoo, the origin is zodiac. And that's why the zodiac wheel, you got, like, for example, Leo is a representation of the lion. Or, for example, right, Aries, representation of the lamb. These animals are personifications of characteristics and personality. So I wanted to, highlight that fact. But you got the floor.
I also want to mention, was it the the Aztec or the Mayan calendar?
Mayan
The
calendar.
Mayan calendar has animals around it too, right? So it's something that they also studied.
It's a zodiac
It's a
wheel.
zodiac wheel. It's a circle,
Mhm.
right? So I just want to put that out there too. I went to Mexico and saw that and got a little piece from off it as a necklace.
Mhm.
So the first and most simple breakdown of the universe and life, the circle, is into two equal but opposite parts, male and female, positive and negative, yin and yang, etc. The number two is a number of duality and polarity. In religion, this was devolved into God and the devil, good and evil, portrayed as conflicting instead of complementing one another. In the science of the zodiac, these two parts of the whole or circle is referred to as positive negative polarity or masculine and feminine gender.
Okay, stop right here. So we're coming from an ancient perspective, but modern religion has took this perspective of duality and turned it into good and evil, God and the devil. When we know in the lessons, it's not really about that. It's about higher and lower self. So the devil is your carnal self. Essentially, it's not the pitchfork red thing with the horns and all that type of stuff, right? So, um, let me take this time to greet some people that came in the chat. Tabera, peace and love. Larry Bay,
Peace and love.
peace and love to the Moors.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Mm. So the next logical step would be to divide the circle into three equal parts. This is the three phases of life in existence: a beginning, a middle, and ending. In religion, this is called the triune God, or three gods in one. In Hindu, this is the God, the creator, Brahma, sustainer, Vishnu, and destroyer, Shiva. In Christianity, this is called the God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. In the science of the zodiac, these three phases are called cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Mm-hmm. The next and last step necessary to fully understand the circle would be to divide the circle into four equal parts. In the science of the zodiac, these four equal parts correspond to the four essential elements. that compose the universe: earth, air, water, and fire. Thus, by geometrically dividing a circle by 2, then 3, then by 4, you have the minimum that is necessary to break down and understand every possible angle and measurement of the circle. When you divide by 2, you get a polarity or gender. When you divide by 3, you get the 3 phases of life. And if you divide a circle by 4, you get the 4 essential elements of life in the universe. Mathematically, there are only 12 possible combinations of polarity, phase, and element. This is the reason why the zodiac wheel is broken into 12 equal parts. By doing such, you cover all possible combinations forming the basis of life. Below is a chart showing the 12 combination of life, polarity, phase, and element, and the logic of 12 signs of the zodiac.
Islam. So when you look in the 101s where Noble Jew Ali talks about this is an old time religion, this is a part of it. To know thyself, got to get your chart done. You got to understand your inner workings. Why do I act the way I act? Why do I have these impulses? To even know how to go about correcting it, or what energies to be around, or whatever tweaks you need to make, you need to first know what you got going on. Know thyself, right? So I want to activate. This is the Circle 7 Holy Quran, Divinely Prepared by Noble Jew Ali. This is chapter 47. Holy instructions from the Prophet dealing with weakness. So I want to activate a couple keys. Key 14. I want to highlight key 14. Allah have given thee no good without its admixture of evil. But he have given thee also the means of throwing off evil from it. So we're born in this flesh, but we have tendencies that are carnal. But we also have the ability to overcome that and master and put the carnal self in check. It's just a willpower, right? The will of Allah, micro, macro perspective, obviously. But this goes hand in hand with what we're talking about, because our composition, the constitution of man.
Happy New Year, man.
Right. So let's go to key 17. The best things in the hands of a fool. So the best things that you can think of, whatever is great and good, if those things are in the hands of a fool, it may be turned to his destruction. And out of the worst things you can think of, those things in the hands of the wise will find the good out of those things. So all this is tied in to knowing yourself, because we want to be the alchemists in the sense of we're in our higher self. We're transmuting things for the greater good. Rather be mastering yourself so you can be in your higher self to do great work for humanity, etc. It all starts with self. Think about all the great empires that were created by the Moors. It all started with self. Some sense of self-mastery, because to even build great organizations, remember, Sultan empires and multiple kingdoms and empires. So that means people had to submit to the program, submit to the organization, submit to the will of Allah, submit to your brother man for the benefit of your brother man or sister, right? Discipline, organization, and structure. Consistency. You start seeing the fruits of your labor. I've been giving this example for a long time. Everybody that got coaches, you see how they work with each other. It's a different sense of discipline than people that don't got their culture right. National standards. That's what Noble Jew Ali is talking about. National standards. That's what that is. All right, so let's review this key 13 I mean, 14. So what what is the admixture of evil? The flesh. What is that thing that can throw off the flesh? The real you, the divine you. And I love giving this example about you go in the car, you crank the engine or you got the push button, whatever you got, you hitting the accelerator, you hitting the brake, you controlling the car to make it go left, right. The car shouldn't be controlling you. If the car is controlling you, that'd be kind of abnormal, right? So the real you is supposed to control your vessel. You're supposed to be in control of your vessel. The vessel is not supposed to control you. Your impulses and urges are not supposed to control you. You are supposed to put the impulses and urges in check. And we have the ability to do that. Depends on where we're at as far as knowing thyself. All right. So what we're made of. I want to activate the one-on-ones. Uh, so back to the Elohim. It's been a series the last couple months as far as talking about the Elohim, which we just saw the seven ruling planets. But who is Elohim? Elohim is the seven creative spirits, which we just looked at the seven ruling planets that created everything that ever was, is, ever more to be. All right. So our job is to understand the blend of Elohim within us. I love showing this diagram. I've shown this diagram many times, but audio visuals are key for comprehension. Seven Elohims. This is what giving you your impulses. This is what's giving you your urges. This is what's giving you your perspective that you have, your way of life. It's not fixed. You're not trapped in this, because if you have behaviors that are detrimental, you just need to know thyself so you can make the corrections. That's all this is about, right? Self-mastery, I, self, law, and master. Islam as an acronym on the ADEP level. All right. And notice how we're dealing with cosmology. All right. So since we're on this page, let's keep it in the heavens. We got the moon cycle, which we know moon and menstrual is synonymous. Menstrual cycle and moon, we know the women are in harmony with the moon. There's seven, there's cycles of seven. And I want to specifically deal with the waning crescent moon. I want to deal with this. I want to highlight this phase for a second. The waning crescent. This is okay.
Yep.
There we go. All right. So waning moon attributes. The waning moon is a phase of the lunar cycle that occurs after the full moon and before the new moon. During this time, the moon's light gradually diminishes and the illuminated portion of the moon becomes smaller each night. The phase is often associated with letting go, release, surrender. It is a time for reflection, introspection, and shedding what no longer serves us. That dead weight, that dead energy, that part of ourself that doesn't serve us, is destructive. Lower self behavior, correction that you need to make. The energy of the waning moon is considered more introspective and reflective. It's a time to reflect, supporting activities like banishing negativity, breaking bad habits, and completing unfinished tasks. It is also a time for emotional healing and spiritual growth, making it a powerful period for cleansing and preparing for new beginnings. We were just in winter solstice, right? 4 gates, On top of the feds is four holes, four gates. One of those gates is the winter solstice. Solstice to solstice, equinox to equinox. But winter solstice is about regeneration, planting seeds to prepare for the gate of the new year or spring, which is a time where things blossom because you planted the seeds in the winter. You're gonna reap what you sow, metaphysically or physically. All these things are about dealing with the heavens. All ancient cultures dealt with holidays based on the stars. That's where all these Christmases and Easter, all this stuff come from um cosmological markers that humans were in tune with so they can reach the pinnacle of their higher self, so they can be in their higher self. Old time religion, ancient Islam. We talking about ancient Islam now. This is Islam. This is the Islam before Prophet Muhammad. This is before the Sunni and the Shiite. This is the Islam the Olmecs and the Mayans were on. The ancient people of the world before it got misrepresented. So now let's look at this moon and the star. Are we still talking about the stars and these? Hold on, we still in the heavens? I just showed you the what position is this moon in? That's a waning moon, right? Am I making this up? Let me know. The floor is open if I said anything in error. Why is it a waning moon? The symbol for Islam. Oh, because Islam or Salam means peace, a peaceful way of life, balance, Mayat. What are the attributes of the waning moon? All those attributes of reflection and getting rid of bad habits that we just read will promote what? Peace. With your dealings with people, yourself, building communities with our people. Some holy books call this the covenant. When you take peace to build social structures and communities, trust law, because you're only going to create a trust or an estate or have an inheritance if you trust your people first, right? So all this is a domino effect of knowing thyself. It starts with somebody that knew themselves and linked up with other people that knew themselves, and then now all these empires is created. Noble families. You got something before I continue?
I do want to add something. So I know we're talking about the heavens right now, but I wanted to add in like the microcosm, right? The human body. So we're talking about everyone goes through things in life and it affects our nervous system, right? And to be able to channel and to be able to reach to our higher selves, to rewire the nervous system, to overcome and to be able to let go, to be at peace with yourself, right? That's a challenge sometimes. And we can talk on things like trauma, right? That affects the nervous system. That's the carnal self, right? The waning, like he was saying, the waning moon is about being able to let go, right? In our physical bodies, when we're not able to let go, then that's where diseases and illnesses come, right? And that can come straight from emotions, from the trauma, from it could be physical trauma that happens. So I just want to take it down from the macro to the micro level of how our bodies get affected if we don't learn to let go. We don't learn how to create peace within self and align with ourselves, right? Because, like I said, things happen in life. This is a carnal experience. So that's where I'm taking that and kind of meeting us where we're at currently in our physical state. So I kind of want to take it there because I'm very, very into the body and the nervous system and how it affects us, right? People pass away from stress. People have heart attacks from stress, not being able to deal with depression and things like that. So that's a very key aspect of learning to let go. How do you get to that? How do you even get to that state? Right. And that's being able to reflect and take control of your mind to be able to do that. Because our mind, if we don't take control of our mind, it's going to affect the rest of our body. So I just want to put it out there like that, and I yield.
Islam, and disciplining yourself to do these practices in a time that's in harmony with that. So if you're trying to let go and you're trying to reflect, attempt to do that in the waning moon, because now you in harmony with nature. the percentages of you achieving that fact is more inclined. The percentage is just higher. For example, you're not going to be like, oh, it's a new year. We had a fiscal new year. We understand that, but we know that the real new year is in spring, where all the crops is blossoming. And that's an example of what I'm talking about. You're not going to talk about the harvest or things blossoming in the cold. So you want your practices to be in harmony with what's going on in the universe to propel what you're doing, to assist. So the crescent and the star is a red flag with a white crescent and a white star in the center. The star is just inside the upper horn of the crescent. The crescent and the star is the oldest flag in human history. It is mother to all other flags of the nations. It symbolizes mother and son. In its singular form, it symbolizes the cosmos. The crescent is the symbol of the angel Luna, or just simply the moon. Elohim identity. So the moon is one of the Elohims like we just looked at. The moon is noble name is Gabriel. Monday is its designated day. So when you look at the 7 days of the week, they're all attached, and it's an energy from the planet that's assigned to it. For example, the holy day for the Moors, the holy day of, the day of Venus is in Latin, Verenes, which in English should translate to the day of Venus. That's Friday. So Friday is Venus, Monday, the moon, right? So just to give you an example. And all planets have an alchemic metal assigned to them. The sun, gold, the moon, silver, Venus, copper. That's where you get the Olympics concept of first place, second place, third place, gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal. They're taking things that are ancient and still using it in ceremonial things today. All right, so vibration, light, energy, white. We're dealing with the moon right now. Revolutions around the earth in a year is 13 revolutions. And that's the number 13 is, right, the lunar calendar, 13, the woman. The distance from the earth, 238,855. Let me let the more in here. Strength and influence, fecundity or fertility. Rules woman cycle of 13. So like I said earlier, menstrual and moon is synonymous. All right, so the star within the crescent is the angel Estar, also called Astarte or Venus. All right, so then the Moorish flag, the green star, 5-point green star in the middle, you're dealing with Venus. All right. When you look up Venus, you're going to see, oh, it's the vibration of love. It's a vibration of fertility. Then you need to be fertile to even be suitable to give life. All right.
Islam, pardon my interjection.
Islam. Who's that brother? That's the Moor. Raquel, peace and love. Islam, man. How you doing out there?
Steady on the classes.
Islam. So
yeah, I just passing through, I'll be listening in the background, but not for long. I was just saying Islam to the Moors and staying good faith.
Islam, good to see you, man. Real good to see you. Looking good, man. Good to hear your voice. Islam.
Yeah, I'm actually in front of the temple right now.
The Canaan land?
Yeah.
Islam. You tell the Moors out there, send my Islams and peace and love. Islam.
Use the floor.
Islam.
Islam, everybody.
Islam.
So once again, Friday, or Venus rather, the ruling planet of Friday, the Elohim, Anael, right? One of the Elohims we just looked at. And like I just spoke on, the alchemic metal is copper. The vibration, light energy color is green. So I like this Dragon Ball Z character, Pycon. If you look, I don't know if y'all can see him, but Pycon is a character on Dragon Ball Z, and he's green. All the creators of Dragon Ball Z, they understood the more science, and there's a lot of science and symbols in there. He even has a fez and turban on. So since I was speaking on green, all this is tied to Venus, our holy day, the original people of the planet that in the Bible that said came into the flesh on Friday, copper colored people, Friday, Venus, copper, right? So I'm just tying some things in. All right, now let's go to the Moorish flag, the national flag of the Moabite Moorish nation of North America. And we still dealing with the heavens and the stars. We haven't left yet. We moved from looking at the zodiac wheel concepts, using as above, so below, talking about the Elohim. And why is most flags on the planet have some type of star moon configuration? That should let you know old time religion or ancient culture was based on understanding the heavens, as above, so below. Right? So this is, some people call this old glory, but it's a red star with a 5-point green star in the center. So Old Glory is a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. The flag of the Moorish Al-Moroccan, or in the more English tongue, American, ancient Al-Moroccan, new dialect American, the direct descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa, America, Amexem. The word Al is the Moorish Latin for the descendant or coming down from. The green star is the angel Ishtar, descended to the earth, also known as Astarte, but the bottom line is Venus. You have a lot of Masonic organizations like Eastern Stars. That's just Venus. Astarte, Easter. All these things are based on the principles of Venus. The bottom line. Venus is the most brilliant star in our solar system. Her Elohim identity is Anael. Her degree day is Friday. Friday, therefore, is the holy day for all monads or Muslims all over the world. Venus, in her revolution around the sun, comes closer to the earth than any other planet. The alchemy of Venus is copper, which is why Moors use copper generously in Moorish architecture. Copper will not rust, but will turn green over time when exposed to the elements. Green is the vibration light of Venus, therefore, the green star in the center of the Moorish flag. The 5 points to the star are interlaced and represent the 5 principles of Islam, science of the Moabite Moorish nation. Those principles are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Venus, the star, in symbology, or heraldry and flags represent the feminine creative nature of the universe and natural government order. In this science is found the secret principle of the matriarchal hierarchy and the master key to the highest form of civilization and government structure and organizational order. Thus, woman is the manifest cosmos or zodiac on Earth and the central focus for all humanity. Matriarchal system. The flag of the Moorish American is true. In truth, is Venus. Venus is love. Herself, therefore, love is the first principle of the 5 in the science of Islam. All right, so I want to open the floor for any thoughts, comments, and statements before we tie this into the fez. The fez, the national headdress for the Moors. Islam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take note that Venus is a star, not a planet.
Islam.
Brightest star in the sky.
Islam.
That's on the black star.
Islam. Islam. Any other thoughts, comments, statements?
Islam.
Islam. Brother James Conway Bay.
I kind of take from it also, like even when you were demonstrating about um, how when we love to in certain places we talk about our zodiac signs, and a lot of people that I've been around, even myself, I've said it before, how like me being a Taurus and some things good and bad, but I think some of us we don't look at it and say, you know what, I need to work on the things that are my worst points, being that associated with being a Taurus or so. But we love to, oh, I'm a Taurus. This is why I do this and that. And I kind of took from what you were talking, what you're demonstrating was, that is where even with when you were talking about the moon, I couldn't really see it because I'm visually impaired, but yeah, the crescent and the star, um, where it was saying, yeah, peace. Yeah, we have to work on our higher selves and lower selves, and all that does tie in Islam.
Islam.
Mhm.
Islam. And yeah, anybody else have any thoughts, comments,
I
statements?
like to
Islam.
also, brothers, say whatever's going on in your head is going on in your body. Whatever's going on in your body is going on outside in your life. And then it's irrelevant because whatever is going on in heavens is going on the earth. And whatever's going on inside of the heavens is going on inside of you. That spiritual, astral, physical body.
Wow. Islam. Islam's as above, so below. A
As
hermetic
above,
principle.
so below. Exactly.
Islam.
Islam. Question for y'all. So basically, there is no deity of what they call the so-called devil. This is your lowest self. Is that safe to say? Is that
Yeah,
the
safe.
right thing? Okay.
Yeah, it's real safe. Yep.
Yep. Some people call it your inner demons. They'd call it your shadow self, right? Lower self, things that you might have to overcome, right? Or look into and reflect on, right? There's a lot of different ways people go about it, but that's what they call the devil, because that's what causes the imbalance and the disharmony, right? But once you're able to face that demon or devil, right, is what they call, then it's like, okay, I see it, I reflect, I see the shadow, I acknowledge it. Now, what are you going to do with it? Right?
Right. Right. It's
So,
right there in the
so,
one-on-ones,
Mhm,
upper and
so,
lower thoughts.
mhm,
Mhm.
so basically, we have to use that same concept when we're thinking about our higher self too, correct?
Right.
mhm.
Islam.
Or
Yep.
does this concept just okay. So so maybe a lot of our people have this whole concept of talking to the creator wrong when the creator is you, when the creator is in you.
Mhm.
When we, you know, our term of talking to the creator is in a form of what they call prayer.
Mhm.
Okay. And when you pray, you're not praying to thyself, you're praying to a supreme being outside of your vessel. Was that a tactic of confusion? Is what I'm trying to relate you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Any pseudo religion that's talking about something outside of yourself that you need to pray to, they're misleading you.
Yeah.
They're misleading you. Um,
Yeah, because the ancient practices is like yoga, right? But what was yoga before is all this stretching and everything, which is still good. It's still good to stretch and to breathe, but yoga is really just breathing before, right? Breath is life. So really breathing into yourself, into your body, and listening, right? What comes to your mind when you're in that meditation or in those thoughts, right? Sometimes they say just when they say pray, it's because you're in your thoughts, you're in your mind, right? Trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do next? What do I need to do? How do I move forward from this? Right. And that's tapping into yourself. So meditation, prayer, yeah, they have like an outside force that people pray to in religion and things like that. But really at the end of the day, it's like what conclusion did you come to? What was that little voice in your head that came up that told you, okay, this is the right way to go? And sometimes it takes time. It doesn't come instantly. It can take days to pray or to meditate on, right? It could come in like maybe a few minutes, depending how deep you are
Islam,
your meditation.
Islam.
So it's not always, it can come in a message through somebody else, right? And people say, my prayers were answered, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
it's just sending out that vibration.
Now, can that prove that we are spirit?
Islam.
Can that prove we are spirit?
What?
Because we're able to talk to ourselves and answer ourselves.
Yeah, the real man. Yeah, and that go back to like the example I gave with you get in the car, you turn it on, you control it. The vehicle's not supposed to control you. So, and that's the struggle. While we're having this carnal experience, is that and mastering it, you know. And once you master it, it's cool. It don't matter how many mistakes you've made in the past. You're able to start over and create
Right.
a new patterns, a new demonstration. Did you have something else, Brother Hassan? I feel like you were going to say something.
Yeah, this subject has really got me thinking. I apologize for the way I do, but so I say this to not be okay. I can't say it no other way. So basically,
You're kind of breaking up a little bit.
there are. So what are we saying? There are no entities. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit, a little bit.
Okay, let me turn the Wi-Fi
You good now?
on.
You good now? You good now?
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you real good now.
Okay, I just turned the Wi-Fi on. So basically, I should not look outside of myself for the answers. I should look within myself for the answers. But for me, I feel like I'm gonna be confused because my whole life, 46 years on this planet, I've always, when I talk to a higher being, it wasn't me. It was, I think.
You cut out.
Yeah, you cut out, Brother Hassan. Yeah, you cut out. So, but Islam, Rakael.
Islam, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. One second,
Okay, cool.
Rakael. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so what I'm saying is like, okay, for me, I'm gonna use me as an example. Okay, I've been formally, unfortunately, taught to look outside of myself for that prayer tactic. You understand what I'm saying? So now this information is making me think that I shouldn't be praying outside of myself. I should be looking within myself. You understand what I'm saying? So, but this kind of create something for me that's going to be hard, Sheik, and that's all I'm saying, because it's like, I'm like, okay, is there really a great deity that created me that's responsible for all this that I must give thanks to every day that I rise? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need somebody, one of y'all, to just elaborate on this a little more, because this is kind of like driving me to that point. Because if it's within myself that I should look at, then that changes my whole perspective on a lot of things. You see what I'm saying, Sheik? And I yield.
Islam. And let me answer this way, and I get a floor to I think Rakael has something. But who is Allah? Allah, the Father of the universe. Can we see him? No. Where is the nearest place we can meet him? In the heart. And the reason the heart is the focal point, because that's the purity, that's the essence. And if you have activated the heart chakra, or you're in a humanitarian level, anything that's going on within that's lower self, you're gonna be able to identify. You're gonna be like, damn, here I go. Let me put this in check. Like, it's more identifiable. So you'll think before you act. Now, the thought is the thought, but you control the vessel. If you control the vessel enough not to act on the lower self thought, now you in business. Now you trending on disciplining yourself. So I wanted to say that as an example to kind of help you see what I mean by that. Is going within is an equilibrium that's created based on a oneness that you are with yourself. You've brung yourself peace, rather breathing exercises, yoga, isolation, turning off the appliances, just natural light, just candles, no extra stimulus. That could look like a lot of different things to bring that peace. For every individual is different, and what brings them peace, it looks different for everybody. But identify that, and that's why we talked about the chart. Get your chart done so you can see where your impulses is at, your natural urges, where you have shortcomings at, and you got to put yourself around people that got energies you need. That's one. That's not the all be all, but that's an aspect to assist you to trend to a level of having peace within in your cipher. This energy right here, I know you on a personal level, Brother Hassan. So even this energy right here could help, because some people just need to hear some sound-minded people in this matrix we live in. I could be having a rough week. Come tap in with the brothers and sisters and give me that recharge for the future days. So it look, but all this is a science though. It's a difference between not knowing this and then knowing this to make tweaks. So hopefully that helped out.
Can I add something on?
The brother had his hand.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
It's a brother, Rakael. Rakael, you got the floor if you have something. Okay, you got it. I think he just said Islam. He was
Okay.
leaving. Okay, yeah.
I guess what I want to say on that is when we speak on like meditation or prayer, it's really just sending the vibration out, right? And when you send that vibration out, because when you're praying, you're almost like in a meditation, right? Whether you're saying it out loud or you're saying it within yourself and you're praying. And so I think that's the common denominator right there, right? Is when people are practicing prayer, they're practicing being able to meditate on what's going on in life and maybe what is the struggle or what are some things that they need to reflect on. It's a way of reflection and putting out those vibrations, how I see it, right? And people can there is a creator, right? It's not that we're just here by ourselves. We didn't just pop up here out of nowhere, right? So, whether when in religion, when they say, oh, you pray to this person, you pray to, right? There is a creator. And I truly believe there's, we have that connection outside of this carnal experience. I've had my own spiritual journey to where I've seen messages and signs. I'm like, where is this coming from? That's actually how I even started my spiritual journey, right? So, and I wasn't spiritual at all. I used to call myself atheist, and I'm like, I don't believe in any of that stuff. So I don't think there's anything wrong with, you can call it prayer, you can call it meditation. I don't think there's anything wrong with speaking that vibration and, putting it out there to the universe. So whoever you call, it's just that, it kind of gets a little sticky when you get into the whole religion part, right? Because they've utilized that in churches and things like that to really control the people. And that's why we're kind of talking this aspect of like going within yourself, because of the teachings and the lessons. We're going a little bit deeper into like the stars and the planets. But I hope that kind of clears it up a little bit. It's a similar practice of putting out the vibration to be able to reflect on.
Islam. Appreciate y'all. Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Islam. Any other thoughts, comments, statements for continue here. Okay. Um, so national headdress of the Moors, habits and customs. Um, what is the fez? What does it represent? And as we go into this, you're gonna see it's in harmony with the as above, so below principle, the matriarchal principle. Um, and it summarizes a way of life of our people right here on the dome. All right. So the fez is a red felt with indigo black tassel. The fez, the headdress of the ancient ones, the Moabite Moors, also spelled myrrh. It is geometrically formed to represent the eternal zodiac. The body of the fez symbolizes the womb of the cosmos and the womb of woman, our mother. The 1 inch final, which extends out of the center of the fez, is the number 1. And the 9th letter I in the phonetic alphabet. The letter I also symbolizes the navel of the solar plexus and the solar eye. The cord extending from the eye symbolizes the universal umbilical cord of universal life and represents the oneness of all life. So that's the goal, to become one with yourself and the universe. And since it's more is science, you don't have to be spooky with it. It's things laid down, right? So get your chart done so you can see what degree am I in Virgo, what degree am I in Pisces, and then you can go farther than that. What's this mean, right? All right, so become one with the heavens. It also represents the tie to the source of humanity, Zodiacus, the first woman. Now, if somebody asks you, oh, what's that, what's that represent? What's the Fed? What is that? You could take it further than, oh, the Ottoman Empire, the Turks, or the Moorish Americans, we just wear this. We want to know our culture to explain it to the general people that may have seen the Fez on the Flintstones or Indiana Jones or Dragon Ball Z or, all these places, Olmec heads. We can go into a little bit about our culture. Everybody that has a nationality and culture, they can talk about the culture, right? So we deem to be able to know this stuff. This is who we are. We saying we're Moors. We need to know all the aspects of who we are, who we about. The strands of the tassel represent the 360 degrees of the zodiac, the highest law and authority in civilization. The zodiac crown of light, the national headdress of mothers and fathers of the human family, founders of civilization, and masters of the cosmos science. 33rd and 360 degree master masons and Eastern stars, but not a fraternal order, not a lodge. Our culture is that we study the Eastern star. It's just Venus, the energies of Venus, so we can activate one of the principles of love, right? Fertility. 360 degrees of information. We're master masons because, once again, mason, mother, son. All sons come from mother. That's an ancient perspective. Of course, the new perspective of I'm a mason is you're part of a fraternal order. You're part of a lodge. Knights of Columbus, Eastern Stars, Shriners. That's new. That's not old time religion. Even though some of their signs and symbols may have principles of what we do in more science, but they're just in signs and symbols. You're not going to get the whole enchilada. You're going to get pieces. You're going to get 33 degrees. You're going to get a fraction of the whole thing. So those are the subtle differences. This is a part of the hidden truth, which has been buried in the dark corner of the North Gate, North America. The fez, symbol of the internal zodiac, is also called the tarbush or tiara, a corona of soul, and other names, which describe the royal status. we already went into this. We were talking about as above, so below. There was another demonstration in here that I thought I saw. Oh yeah, circle 7. So on our holy book, circle 7, Holy Quran, divinely prepared by Noble Jew Ali. A lot of the original covers have the 7 in the middle, a circle that has 4 openings, right? What's the science behind these openings? The 4 gates, 4 seasons, or Islam, sister. The 4 gates, the 4 seasons. Right now, we in this gate right here. We just had winter solstice. Habits and customs of a culture of people. Now you see the signs and symbols right in front of the holy book. Why Noble Jew Ali put circle 7, right? 7 Elohim. Mastering the energies of self. Because you understand the heavens is connected to self to even attempt to master it. Right? 7 planets. So, if you didn't know, a little more info on that, because, everybody don't talk about this from this lens. So I'm going to put that out there, which your circle 7 means in front of your holy book. We talked about as above, so below, as a hermetic principle as well. Oh, here we go. So when 9L was reading and you saw the yin and the yang, it's the same principle. When you see this sign, oh, that's the Jewish star. That's the Star of David. Okay, that's cool. Let's go more in depth. It's still back to that yin and the yang. As above, so below. Masculine, feminine, physical, spiritual, overlapping. Self-mastery, understanding that to even activate to reach the higher pinnacles of yourself, or activate the Christ or the pineal gland, or operate in the faculties of the heavens, distinguished from the solar plexus and below, which is dealing with the carnal area. You mastered that, right? So a lot of different expressions. I'm gonna open the floor for any thoughts, comments, statements before we continue to the concluding aspect. I got something in the chat. Did she just say peace and love? Somebody in the chat has something else. Oh no, okay. She was saying she had to leave. Yeah, let's open the floor for thoughts. Let's have a conversation. If anybody has any thoughts, comments, questions on any level.
Islam. I
Islam.
just want to say that I really enjoyed this presentation. I wonder if there are any books or if this presentation is from a book. I would like to know the name of it. Or do you know any books that talks about these topics?
Okay. Yeah, I can email you the what we read from today, so you can have everything. The brother is putting something in this. He's showing a book called the Isanami. That's a good book as well. To brother Roland Rose or Roland Bay. And this one is called. Well, the first book I read was the Moorish Paradigm, Book 3. This one is a Moorish Order of the Round Table. And then the brother put something to Isanami, and obviously the Circle 7 and the 101. So those are all the things I went through. And when the meeting is over, I will. Oh, he got something else called the Torch. So the brother Roland Bay putting books in the chat for people that want to further or kind of meditate in that area. All right. So let's go one more round for thoughts and comments, statements.
I just want to check in with Hassan. How did you feel that when we were kind of talking about like the prayer meditation, how did that sit with you?
That was perfect, man. Like y'all answered the, because I didn't want to go through that spiritual battle within. Because even though I'm in the Morris paradigm, certain things that I've been accustomed to, they still stick in my mind, and
Mm.
I'm just trying to find a concept and find my way. So I appreciate y'all's insight. And anyone else who has insight that may help me in my journey, I'm more than glad to listen. Islam.
Islam.
Islam. You got something, Brother Roland? Or
I
you
had
just
the same thing going on coming back from, I was in the Gulf War in the military, and I had an issue of coming back and who am I after all that and living in Europe for so many years. And this all starts with you. What you think, and when you wake up in the morning, that's what makes your day. So everything starts with you. So it is all about your thoughts. You are the upper and the lower, God and devil. It is in you. And when you realize that, you're going to do a whole lot better with yourself.
Mhm.
I hear you.
Islam. 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 Um,
I kind
Islam,
of,
Elder. Appreciate that insight.
I kind of want to tag along on that. With everything that's going on in the world and society, that's why it's important to be wary of the information, things that we take in, right? Because it can program us subconsciously, right? And the things that we're trying to overcome. That's like a spiritual warfare, is what we would say, right? So just, I just want to say be careful of the things that are being taken in through visual, audio, because then you're going to think that's you, right? And that's exactly what they want to do. They want to program you to think that's you, but the true you, that's why going within, that's where you're going to find yourself outside of all this noise. So I just want to put that out there. I know you.
Islam.
Islam.
Okay, so before we close out, just a reminder about our land trust project. Every second Sunday of the month, we go over our treasury to see who put energy into what we're doing on a monthly basis, whether it be from members or the miscellaneous public, the grand total. The purpose of the treasury for our land trust project at the moment is to acquire land. Right now, we have we're looking on something in Pear Blossom, about 4 acres,
Okay.
5 acres. And the auction is in April. We have a couple different routes. And actually, me and Nanel elaborate on that, new developments and things like that. But essentially, we want to get the land for farming, housing, offering low income housing for people that are sincere in the Moorish paradigm, putting energy into it. Um, we also want to have businesses that come from land ownership, such as fruits, vegetables that we can sell, herbs that we can heal ourselves with and heal the community with. Um, like I say, RVs come and can park. There's so many businesses that come from land ownership and just get back in tune with nature. When you living in nature versus the inner city, it's a whole nother vibe. Your anatomy gonna change. You're gonna be at peace. You're gonna be like, back to harmony with nature, right? Your environment dictate where you at too. If you're around steel, cement, people on their lower self and all this, pseudo activity, it's gonna affect you because you're only a product of your environment, right? So, all this is in harmony with the lesson for the day. But so yeah, so the Khalifa Society Land Project, what I'm advocating is, let people know this exists. If you strap with finances, let people know we exist. Explain what we got going on, why we're trying to do it, what we're trying to build, what we about, and we can get our treasury up, um, etc. So, um, once again, we for the most part we're private. We still are private as an organization. We're a community trust. That's what we're set up as a trust organization. So any property that we get It can become part of our estate for our members, i.e., citizens, i.e., people that are active and putting in energy into what we're doing, so the community can help them later. They might need a business loan, they might need help, just like
Land to park on.
yeah, land park on. This is a government. It's for our citizens. A citizen is an active member in the community, either financially, missionarily. You put energy into what we're doing to be considered a citizen. So, temple member, however you want to call it. We do have a fiscal sponsor now. So anybody that knows people that are looking for a tax write-off and they want to donate to organizations like ours, we can give them a tax write-off. We have a fiscal sponsor, like we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. So keep this in mind when you're, doing your everyday dealings. Keep this in mind. We're ambassadors. We're Moors, and we're active. So that means we're part of a body, and we're always thinking of expansion. How can we make our situation better? So individual people that are in the body, keep this in mind. Every day. You have a level of just coming across your nationality and birthrights. That's one level of getting woke up. That's the first step. The second step is activity, mobilization, community building, outreach on as a collective. And then like we're doing, we link up with other Moors from other temples, link up with them and bring it all together. Want to add something?
So I wanted to speak on kind of new developments on the land and how we're going to go about purchasing it. So we've looked into the Chapter 8, and what we found was that with the Chapter 8, I guess, law for the nonprofits, the way they're going about it is, okay, you can actually get from the list on the auction list for how much it costs, or you're going to get it based on the appraisal of the land. And whatever is the greater. That's something that was recently put in place, like in 2023, based on like a Supreme Court case that got ruled. And so they've changed that. And I've looked up the appraisal on the land for Pear Blossom. It's more than what's on the auction. So we decided, okay, let's not go the Chapter 8 route. That's one of the reasons. Another reason is because if you work with them on this Chapter 8, they want a 30-year pretty much like compliance with them. So if you're going to work with them, they're like, look, we still want to oversee you for 30 years. We still want you to check in with us for 30 years. And that's not the route we're trying to go. We want to have total control and not have to go to anybody. We want to be able to speak within us to be able to see, what do we want to do? What do we want to do with our treasure? What do we want to build up, right? Not have to meet certain compliances with the county, right? I mean, there are certain things, but just with that Chapter 8 was kind of sticky. So we decided it'd be best to approach it just going through the auction. And based on what I've seen on the list for the auction, there's like hundreds of lands and like houses that are being auctioned off. So what are the chances that one little sliver of land that we're looking at that's considered landlocked, when you first look at it, it's landlocked. You actually have to do a lot of digging to even figure out that there's an easement on there. There's a lot of digging we had to do for like a long time to figure out there's an easement on there, back from like 50 something, right? So we just wanted to put it out there that's where we're going to go with it. Right now, currently, I think we have about like 4,000 in the treasury approximately, and then we're going to go over next weekend. Next weekend we're going to go over the treasury report, see where we're at that point. And we still have till April, right? The land for the property taxes is $4,500, so we're very close to that minimum. We can get a little bit more, just have some cushion. That's cool. But yeah, there's lots of land that's being auctioned off, so I don't really see there being a lot of competition for that particular piece of land. And I want to put out there that I'll be looking into other pieces that are very similar that are around the area within Pear Blossom and Sun Village. So we have other options, and I'll go over it with everybody so we can kind of see, like, is this going to be fitting, right? Because I don't want to be just stuck on that one piece, right? There's lots of opportunities There's lots of land out here that we can go after. So I just want to put out there too. And this is going to be an ongoing thing. It's not just going to buy one and it's going to be done. We can utilize this strategy to acquire more land as we expand. So I just want to put that out there and be transparent about what we're going to do moving forward. Because we don't see that the chapter 8 is going to be as fitting, even though the mayor had good intentions putting it out there. And, he may have not known about those little things about the chapter 8, which is fine. And so we're going to go that route, going to the auction and just continue to raise funds, however we raise funds, selling t-shirts, word of mouth, putting in a little bit here and there, however we go about it.
Oh, and grants. That's another way to go about it. Since we have a fiscal sponsor, grants. Everybody that everybody in this chat that has friends or family, let them know what we're trying to do, because you might have access to grants that fit what we're doing, or even look up grants that are tailored to what we're trying to do. And we can use AI just to whip up a grant. It don't take much to put a grant proposal. Technology came a long way. And we might get some grant money for development as well. Since we do have a fiscal sponsor, we might as well take advantage of that as well. I think that was, and we will be speaking with the mayor this week, because there are other options to get more land. So we can get the land that we're thinking of and other land, because he's opened up a position of, look, man, just give us, the mayor has land under his jurisdiction where you can start off with $100 a month, like a rent to own, and eventually pay it off. So that could be a strategy as well, to just get boots on the ground, entrance as well. So
and that could be like a business move, to raise our funds. So we're really just back to the drawing boards about, okay, look, we're still on the land project. We're still trying to get this land. Now, which direction are we going to go in? Which route do we want to take? Right? We just kind of rerouted a little bit with this project, but still head on.
Yeah. We're looking at, we're gonna have some land this year. I'm very confident, some shape, form, or fashion, whatever route we go. But that's what's on the table, and the update as far as the land trust is concerned. Any thoughts, comments, statements on that space? Questions? All right, so I'm going to close out in prayer and then lower the meeting. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Jew Ali. Amen. So let me stop the recording here.